slice, sweet like daiquiri with strawberry crushed ice. Know you like a margarita with the hot spice. Love the taste of paradise. No, it's never been the right time. Like we're holding back the storyline. And I'm waiting at the end of the night, thinking of you. No, it's never been the right Standing right in front of me, you used to be someone to me. You took all of my energy and had some infidelities. The real estate inside my head you took is never coming back, but you said that it wasn't personal. And every time you lied to me, it's like I didn't want to see, cause I thought you were beautiful, and beauty doesn't want to be mischievous and devious and set a fire unto us, but you were never beautiful at all. I wasn't fine to begin with, walked all those lines to begin with, but you forced me to work on myself because you put me through hell. I guess I should thank you for that. I'm okay, but it was a real close call. It went from a walk to a crawl. Had to tear down the Berlin Wall. I was panicking, but hey, I guess I survived you. And that shit was hard to do. I've had every shade of blues since I met you. I think that I'm over it, but then I see you out again, laughing with a group of friends. There he is, you're holding hands, makes me feel pathetic and a little bit erratic. So I drink till I can't stand, and you know I won't confront you, even though it's all I wanna do. Probably best to just ignore it, both impossible and true. I wasn't fine to begin with, walked all those lines to begin with, but you forced me to work on myself because you put me through hell. Thank you for that. I'm okay, but it was a real close call. It went from a walk to a crawl. Had to tear down the Berlin Wall. I was panicking, but hey, I guess that I survived you. And that shit was hard to do. I've had every shade of blues since I met you. She loves me not. The petals hit the floor, and what you get is what you got when you can't pull no more. I'm okay, but it was a real close call. It went from a walk to a crawl. Had to tear down the Berlin Wall. I was panicking, but hey, I guess that I survived you. And that shit was hard to do. I've had every shade of blues since I met you.
Sometimes I play it safe, and you can see it. It's easy for me to show. But sometimes I'm really brave, and that just means that I'll try again tomorrow. It's my dark created mountains where the valleys used to be. Gotta change perspective if I really wanna see that sunrise over the water. I swam over and under, get lost in all the wonder, never call it quits, no. When life hit me apart, I went faster and farther. I just gotta remember I was made for this. I was made for this. I was made for this. Oh, I live among the waves. Let them take me as far as they want to go. And it's time for me to say, they won't break me, I'm braver than I know. It's my dark created mountains where the valleys used to be. Gotta change perspective if I really wanna see it. Sunrise over the water, I swam over and under, get lost in all the wonder, never call it quits, no. When life hit me apart, I went faster and farther. used to be. And all the things I thought I knew were changing like the seas. Yeah. But I've overcome it all and I'm still here. Oh, I gotta change perspectives if I really wanna see. Sunrise over the water, I swam over and under. Get lost in all the wonder, never call it quits, no. When life hit me apart, I went faster and farther. I just gotta remember I was made for this. Oh, such a time as this. Oh, I was made for this.
Single your confusion, great brave woman, laughing to illusion. You're not afraid to die, you know dying is alone. Down or up, you're still alone. Laughing or crying, you roll alone. How do you do it? You know I come from pain. You say I can't complain. It's on me. The past is long gone, and the future's unknown. You are telling me, tell me. You are telling me, you tell me. He said to be polite. The only way to get what you want, the only way they like you, is to stay in line and follow the crowd. But you stand out black as the night. You know they're all lying. You know I come from pain. You say I can't complain. It's on me. The past is long gone, and the future's unknown. You are telling me, you told me. Climbing to your bright future, even though you're dying. You fell before and you keep on trying. You do it all again. Now blinded by
The world's leading monohull racing circuit is back in Puerto in Mallorca. Teams are all set to do battle on the Bay of Palma.
Oh, it's a penalty.
The boats are fully powered up. The whole crew, they're in the deck of the boat. I absolutely love it.
Who would have thought a big win for the Finns?
Oh, so close.
Great racing, sled catching, American magic.
They are neck and neck.
Everything is possible until you cross that finish line.
Fantastic racing.
What a thrilling race. Oh my God.
Well, from breezy, bumpy, wavy, windy conditions out in the Atlantic last month for the World Championship, we come back into the Mediterranean to the home from home, Puerto Portals. It's the 10th year in a row, I believe, we've been here. We've got 12 boats racing, 9 different nations. American Magic leading the circuit. They've won 2 regattas on the trot, but any team could win here. 1 or 2 changes on board Platoon Aviation, who finished joint top of the table here a year ago. They've had a little bit of a roller coaster season so far, but there's a few changes on board. We caught up with Juan Vila, who's a new navigator, an absolute legend of the sport and a real gentleman. So Juan, a new jumper this week, a new team. What are the challenges for you with Platoon Aviation, considering the season they've had?
Yeah, I mean, the main goal is just to improve the bow speed of the boat, to make it better, and especially from now, just looking at next season, it's nothing that is going to make a whole lot difference in a short time, but we're looking more into a long-term strategy to get a competitive boat, at least for next season.
I mean, do you come in cold, or do you have an idea of where the weaknesses are with the boat?
Yes, you say I'm just joined the team, so I'm just probably bringing them a little bit of an outside view, but mainly just helping everyone, just looking in the same direction to improve our speed. So yeah, just big one more and putting my little grain of or little help to achieve our common goal.
A challenge you look forward to?
Yeah, I think it's challenging. It's just it's easy when you jump into a very nice boat with a very nice team, but this is a challenge, and I like also these challenges. So yeah, hopefully we can get it better and better. As I say, it's nothing that is gonna show up from one day to another, but hopefully we're gonna go in the right direction. If it's not this event, next event.
Of course, you're an empirical guy. You love numbers and digital, but this is a human challenge as well. What do you bring to the party there?
Yeah, obviously, apart from the skills in navigation, weather, but yeah, the most important now is just helping the data analysis and just having our meetings and just putting my ideas through the meetings like everyone does. Just being one more and just see if we can get the changes in the right direction that help us get be more competitive.
What's the big challenges, or what do you enjoy about the 52 Super Series, the TP52s, most of all?
Well, most of all is how close the boats are and how small differences can impact the result. So yeah, you have to have everything right. It's not about only one thing, but a lot of factors that need to come together to have a competitive boat. And the speed being so equal, boats are just coming at the top mark together, at the bottom mark together. It's nothing's decided till the very end. So that's what's the beauty of the TP52, really.
Of course, you've won the America's Cup, you've won the Ocean Race, you've held the record for the Jules Verne. Are you still hungry to win things?
Of course, yeah. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing this. So it's a bit of the competitive nature, I guess, in everyone that does this. Anyway.
And what's going to happen this week for weather?
Yeah, it's going to be a bit challenging. It's going to be it's not the normal sea breeze probably every day. We have I think like tomorrow the offshore breezes against the sea breeze for the next couple of days. So it will be interesting. Today is a little bit of a showery day that can impact also in the wind. Hopefully this afternoon it should be the wind should be good enough and probably breezy as well. So yeah, today we can have a good day to start with. But yeah, it's going to be tricky conditions, which we'll see how it goes.
What about the chemistry on board? Who have you sailed with before, and how does it work?
Well, the chemistry on board, came from the outside, and it's great. Now even in hard times, everyone's pushing into the right direction.
You sailed with Jordi before a bit, I guess.
With Jordi, and then right now with Roscoe and Cheese. Well, Roscoe and Cheese we sailed a while back in the ocean races as well, with the Ilbrook times.
Yeah, of course.
So, but also recently in the Harm Müller-Spreer Cup. So and with Javier as well. But yeah, with Jordi I sailed a lot, and that's actually my first time sailing with Vasco, and I love it. It's great.
You look a lot younger than they do.
No, I don't know why. I think I'm the older one of the oldest.
It must be your skincare regime, is it?
I think it must be just being brown.
And staying indoors as much as possible inside.
Yeah, probably in the nav station.
And you like it here, particularly in Portals, and this a good week?
Yeah, it's a great week here in Portals. It's always good. The Bay of Palma, it's great to sail. And Portals does a great job on hosting the event.
Good stuff. Well done. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, the team boss for Platoon Aviation, Harm Müller-Spreer, has been missing for a couple of regattas with obligations at home. He's back, and we caught up with Harm. So, Harm, missed 2 regattas. You're back. Did you miss it?
Yeah, for sure, a little bit. Yeah, I got a little bit frustrated by the beginning because we never succeeded with a new boat, and finally it was a combination of some family events. So I had very, very important appointments, so I can't do the last 2 events, and I got replaced by Marcus Vita. It went more or less okay, and right now I'm back.
Did you miss it, or did you switch off completely, or were you sitting at home watching everything?
Yeah, I was. If I had the chance, I was sitting in front of the screen watching what's happening on the water. And honestly, after 19 years, a short break was good for me.
So you're back, you're rejuvenated, full of positive energy.
Yeah, for sure. Otherwise, you can stay home. Otherwise, it wouldn't work here.
What's your assessment of where you are with the team and the boat? You've made some changes. Why, and what are you looking for?
I think the designers made some tiny little changes to the whole hull concept. And we're still struggling to work out how it works perfectly. We changed several times the keel fin and the center of gravity and everything, so we're still in progress.
And what's your hopes and expectations for the week?
I think for this week, gonna be hard because very hard to predict how the wind develops. And we are still working with ourselves. So, I mean, we are checking what's possible still with this tool and animal we are sailing. And by the end of the week, we know better.
You're excited to have some changes on board, are you?
Yeah, but I mean, we struggled in some positions, and it was hard with the injury of Doogie and some conflicts in the team, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to go in details. I haven't been on the boat when it happened. And technical-wise, we made a change because we had the chance to get Juan Vila, and for sure, in this position, this is the best you can get in the world.
And you still love Puerto Portals and coming here?
It's super nice. I always said that Puerto Portals in summer is tricky. I prefer to go to Puerto Portals end of the season or beginning of the season. Normally being here in July, August, that's tough because it's warm, and it's almost, with global warming, it's too warm. And this year we are a little bit lucky because the water temperature is only 27 or 28. But if the water temperature is climbing up to 30, then it's hard to create a proper sea breeze. And my recommendation for the future will be perfectly here, but in spring or in autumn.
Tell us a little bit behind the curtain with the platoon team. How's the dynamics? Who manages the team? Who runs it? Who's the boss?
I mean, honestly, it's like in a normal sport everywhere. I mean, if you're getting sleepy and old, you got kicked by the young people coming, you know? And so that one of the main reasons sometimes you have to make changes to wake everybody up again. And I'm a combination of a coach, a team owner, and a competitor in the team as well, you know? So it's not easy to create a very successful team over the years. We have done it so far. We are not so bad. But right now we are starting by zero, and we have to see how the future works out.
Are there some crossovers with your business in terms of what you learn, the experience you bring?
I think this is a crossover with the whole life. It has nothing to do with the business. Everything what you're doing in art and business and whatever you're doing in sport, if you're targeting a goal, you find your way how you achieve the goal. And that's everywhere the same.
Fascinating. You have a great day. Thanks, Harm.
Bye.
American Magic Quantum Racing have won 2 on the trot. They're leading the circuit. This is a complicated venue here in the Bay of Palma this time of year. Terry Hutchinson explains their expectations and hopes for the week. So, Terry, you've got a bit of momentum running with you, but this week's a completely different week back in the Med.
Yeah, this is a hard week of racing in front of us. You know, the forecast is not a typical Portals conditions. We're standing here today under a postponement and waiting for the wind gods to cooperate a little bit. And so what you can see is that it's going to be quite unstable. I think for American Magic Quantum Racing, we want to hold serve on the week, and that's not going to be an easy task because the conditions are going to warrant probably a bit more aggressive than what we tend to be. And yeah, I mean, 20 races to go, so we got to just keep our heads down and stay focused.
Very much eyes on the prize for the end of the season then.
Eyes on the prize for the end of the season, focusing on 1% incremental improvements each day. 1% over the course of these regattas turns out to be 5%. And so if we can get 5% better over the week, you'd take that every single day of the week. But it's hard to identify those areas sometimes. And in other times, it's easy to identify, and I think from a team perspective, we have to continue to focus on our boat speed. We have to continue to kind of focus on things inside of our lifelines because that's where we can completely control our destiny. 10
years in a row, I think we've been here. Doesn't get any easier. It's always different, isn't it?
It is always different. I mean, that's the beauty of this venue in particular. The subtleties of the sea breezes, the subtleties of this time of year where the temperature's changing a lot, and wherever she puts us in the bay, there's some very unique features to the breeze. If the breeze direction's 160 versus 190 versus 205, depending on how straight the breeze is or how far left the breeze is going to be a pretty big leading indicator to how the races play out.
You've got it all up there.
We do. We're fortunate that we're supported by a good coach in James, and we've got a lot of experience on the boat racing in this venue, as do all the teams. And so everybody kind of knows they know the plays and they know what to do, but the subtlety of Mother Nature is always prevalent.
Good. Have a good week.
Thank you.
And we caught up with the legendary Andrea Vicentini from Sled, big mountain runner. Here's the weather for the day with Andrea. So Andrea, tell us about the weather just generally for the week. What's the overall picture?
Well, the situation is pretty, how can I say? It's really changing a lot day by day. There's a lot of things happening in the atmosphere. So starting from today, it's a little bit of unknown for this morning. Should stabilize in the afternoon. And then we have a gradient, a mistral, flowing in the next days, and that will be fighting the sea breeze. So my plan is just to go day by day and see what happens, because the situation is complex enough, so things can change really quickly, and we try to get one day at a time right.
What's the main tools for your job on a day like this?
Well, main tools, it's eyes out of the boat for sure. See what's happening around the island. See what's happening around the mountains here of the island, and then of course it's all the forecasts, which are pretty good and reliable, and at these times. So it's a blend of everything and a little bit of experience, and we try to get it right. Yes.
Your job gets easier every year, does it?
It depends on the days, No.
But the weather systems are becoming more complicated, more dynamic, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure. The systems are more dynamic, and the changes are happening quickly, for sure, yes.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
So there we go. Andrea Vicentini, the navigator on Sled. And they will certainly be one of the main contenders this week here in Puerto Portals. We've had a long delay waiting for the breeze to stabilise. We have, as Andrea said, we have this northerly Mistral breeze going out, blowing up in the northern Mediterranean off the French coast and pushing all the way down towards Mallorca and the Balearic Islands. And that is countering the sea breeze. But the good news is we certainly have breeze. We have Katie Dabson with us this week, aspiring Olympic 49er FX sailor, a TP52 sailor in her own right, sails generally with the Gladiator team. And Katie's back with us this week. Katie, it looks decent. Looks like we've got wind pressure, but we're just waiting for it to settle into one direction, are we?
Yeah, there's definitely good breeze out here. I'd say 14 to 15 knots. We've seen almost as much as kind of 17, 18 knots at points as well, but we're just waiting for the wind to stabilise a bit in direction. We're currently motoring upwind, all the boats and the race committee are all motoring upwind to, I think, try and find that slightly more stable breeze. It's been tracking left slightly as we've been going upwind, so I think they probably didn't want to lay a course where we were, knowing that the wind at the top would be completely different to the wind at the bottom. So I think we're just motoring out to find that better breeze, but the forecast looks like it should stabilise anyway. There's quite a lot of high clouds in the air at the moment, and this morning there's been quite a lot of high clouds, a bit of rain around, but that should burn off this afternoon a little bit, and we should see the breeze stabilising and hopefully building a little bit.
You're obviously getting the inside information from the Gladiator team. What was their forecast and their briefing this morning?
So yeah, they had probably pretty similar to everyone else. Quite a tricky morning with, just with quite a lot of unstable breeze, a few showers. But the forecast that I've seen, or like they were talking about, was for it to stabilise in the afternoon, potentially. The wind to track right a little bit throughout the afternoon, and with that a bit of a building breeze, but it definitely looked like a promising forecast. It's happening a little bit later than I think they were expecting. I think the forecast were hoping the stability would have come in a little bit earlier, but I think it's still looking on the right track, just a little bit delayed.
So Katie, use your tips for the top this week. Obviously Gladiator in particular won one of the practice races yesterday, as did American Magic. Pressure is off Gladiator in a lot of respects because they're not challenging among the challengers for the circuit title this season because they missed the Bayona. But they would, your obvious bias aside, they'd be one of your contenders, wouldn't they?
Yeah, for sure. Like Gladiator, they really thrive on this style of racing, getting out to the corner using the boat speed that they've got, nailing the start, maximising that corner, and then coming back out pretty strong. So this is a really good venue and a good course for them, I think. But also American Magic have been kind of absolutely on fire for the last 2 events, so I think they'll be pretty strong contenders as well. And I don't think we can kind of ignore the fact that Platoon have made quite a lot of changes to their boat and their crew, and I think having Harm back as well, a bit more familiarity in the team with Harm driving, and I think we can't write them off either.
Indeed, I mean they were, and also Jordi Calafat there we can see is back. He missed a couple of regattas as well as being fully supporting the team, but also on board, as we saw with our pre-race interview with or many people, many professionals, the top navigator in the world, Juan Vila, winner of the America's Cup, winner and indeed the Ocean Race going way back. But I think he's done 9 or 10 America's Cup programs pretty much back to back. Not always on board, but he's really a highly cherished and coveted navigator in his own right. So he's joined the Platoon aviation program. So a quick look at the actual lineup now. The other change, of course, on Platoon, maybe people don't know, there's a change with the bowman. So this is the new lineup on Platoon Aviation. Harm Müller-Spreer back as helmsman, Vasco Vascotto tactician, Jordi Calafat, local of course, Palma born and bred is Jordi, America's Cup winner and 470 Olympic gold medalist. Juan Vila is a navigator, worked obviously with Jordi on Alinghi, going way back in the winning the America's Cup. Victor Mourinho, ever present, super reliable on the runners. Dick de Ridder, Cheese on the main trim. Russ Halcrow continuing on the one of the principal trimmers alongside Javier de la Plaza, Gerd Habermüller, Andy Axelson, Jaro Farlani and Mickey Muller, all the ever dependable team, and Matteo Ramian is the new bowman who I believe sails with some of the certainly sails with Vasco and some of the guys on Django, so he's stepping into the hot seat as a bowman. So some changes. What do you feel that Platoon can achieve this week? I mean, obviously they have to start firing as a unit, but they're pretty comfortable on this race course as well, Katie, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They've been in the Super Series for as long as time, and I think they're really familiar with this venue, and I think they can take a lot of confidence from that actually the venue for them I think won't be an issue. It's just making the most out of the changes to the boat and making sure that they are gelling as a team and kind of working together properly as a team. But yeah, I think they could really kind of put their stamp on this event if they put it all together and manage to race well.
Interesting hearing, well, I mean, Terry in particular, and also Andrea Vicentini saying it's really going to be a regatta where every day may well be different, and it's going to be a case of just taking every day as a different day, isn't it?
Yeah, and actually that's how I quite like to race anyway, regardless of the conditions, kind of like coming out and taking each day as a different day is I think the sensible strategy anyway, because you can maybe be looking a little bit further into the week in terms of conditions and thinking preserving kit or like kind of how you manage energy levels throughout the week, but actually just in terms of the racing, taking each day as it comes and focusing on what's in front of you today and in the race in front or the race you're about to do, I think that's the right way of doing it anyway. So I think he was bang on there.
And Terry just talking about just making those small incremental gains. You're looking always for that 1% gain every day over the course of the regatta. That's 5%, and most sailors would take that over the course of the regatta, yourself included, I'm sure. We maybe have lost Katie, but interesting to listen to Terry Hutchinson just saying that their eyes really are very much on the circuit title, and they're very much a team who sail the percentages, minimise risk, don't tend to push to the corners, rely on the boat speed, rely on other teams making mistakes, minimise the mistakes on board. American Magic, and of course they can't, but they do come with having won 2 regattas back to back. This is going to be very much a test of light to moderate wind boat speed, and we know that really there's the speed differentials between the different boats in the fleet are really super close. So another small change we're looking at there is Allegra, and a change on the back of the Allegra with the Olympic laser gold medalist Paul Goodison, America's Cup sailor with American Magic, and Moth World Champion coming in as tactician now on board Allegra, working with the double Olympic medalist Will Ryan as strategist. That's going to be a really strong lineup in the back of the boat, working with Francesco Mongelli. Paul Wilcox joined the team this year doing the runners, really experienced and super dependable. Sylvia Mas, the Spain's famous 470 world champion. Elliot Willis, also a 470 world champion, or double 470 world champion, as a main trimmer. Pierluigi De Felici is a trimmer along with Andy Hemmings. Sebastian Tenhag is the project manager and grinder. Mickey Gnuti is the other grinder. Jonathan Taylor on the pit. Joe Cox and Mamu Caputo is the bowman. So interesting changes. Paul Goodison bringing some fresh blood. Now then, Michele Avaldi was the tactician in Cascais. That was only ever a temporary role, I believe. Paul Goodison wasn't available for Cascais, but he is first pick and comes with a lot of experience of the TP52s, but also comes in with a fresh set of eyes into a team which has got massive potential and which has done well here, finished on the podium here before, and are well capable of doing so again. What do we think about the Allegra team, Katie, if we have Katie? It's a case of just putting the series together. Yeah, Allegra team absolutely full of potential, but have been underperforming, as have others this season. But they could come out and perform and easily finish in the podium this week, couldn't they?
Yeah, for sure, and I think that's one of the good things about the fleet this season especially, is actually there's a lot of boats where they are kind of winning races, and Allegra's definitely one of those. They've shown some really strong moments in some of the previous regattas, and I think making changes, and they seem to kind of still be in a bit of a stage where they are making those changes, and actually I think that could still work really well for them, and they could do really well here, and we've seen the potential. They've got the speed and they've got the know how to do it. It's just stringing together full races and a regatta, and they could do pretty well.
But I mean, this is, we know it's a long, hot week. It always is in August here, but hydration and self-management, team management is vital to success here, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's so hot, and the last week especially has been absolutely roasting. It's been kind of mid to high 30s sometimes, and not heaps of wind, and the days have been quite long so far. Even the postponements on the shore, there's not really a lot of shelter from that heat, so keeping hydrated throughout the day and making sure you're on top of it and not just kind of getting to the point where you're like, oh, I've not drunk anything now and it's halfway through the day. I think that's going to be super important because it really does creep up on you. But yeah, I think Gladiator's always been a really strong one on the hydration, and I think everyone else hopefully is kind of following suit with that and making sure they're on it.
And staying off the alcohol in the Gladiator still, even though it was Chris O'Hosking, the main trimmer's 50th birthday yesterday. Still the teetotal policy, I believe.
Yeah, still a dry boat on board the Gladiator and on board the Corinthian. So I'm sure
you have to adhere
Chris
to that, do you?
Celebrate in style when he's finished. I do have to adhere to that. If I'm on the boat, I'm I'm dry, which
you
is
find that
fine
hard
because
as
I
an
think
athlete?
drinking in this heat, you'd be that's incredibly hard. It's my coping mechanism.
Oh, is
No,
it?
I'm kidding. It's no, it's quite nice. It's I think alcohol in this stuff, I wouldn't even want to go
No.
close to it because I think I'd just be so dehydrated if I drank too much that it would just be a recipe for disaster.
So how's it looking now on the water? What are you seeing? We've got a warning signal, we believe, at 35. But
Yeah,
does,
it feels
do you
like it's
think that'll-
dropped off a little bit out here actually. I think they'll hopefully try and push to get one in or like get started. The anticipation, I think, with everyone will be pretty high, especially with the wind changing as it is. But it's dropped off a little bit. But as I said, there's still breeze across the course. It's still relatively stable. I think it'll just be a eyes out the boat kind of day and not your typical Palmer day, potentially more of a sail in what you see rather than the bang the left.
It's funny, everybody talks about a typical Palma day, and the more years we come here, the less we see as typical Palma days. Every day seems to be different, and a lot of it's due to this increase in the average sea temperature. The usual reliable sea breeze in the middle of the summer is less and less reliable, and the systems are so much more dynamic, and that I think that's true all the way through the Med. So some greater challenges for the afterguards and indeed for the teams. So the other change in terms of the afterguards is on Alpha Plus. We have Adrian Stead, coming in as a tactician this week on Alpha Plus. Alpha Plus, a team who have been really at the back end of last season, beginning of this season, they were certainly getting into the top 4, top 5, and looking there at our live images from the water. Paprec really have been going well this season. They're, I think, are third on the circuit standings at the moment. Who would have thought? But they could still pull off a surprise here. They were great in Bayona and great contenders for the world title all the way into the last month in Cascais, and they really could do well here as well. Let's have a quick look down the Alpha Plus lineup just to see how Edo Stead fits into that group. Well, Nicholas Egno Johnson is the helmsman, young Kiwi match racer. Edo Stead in as tactician, working with strategist Sean Kang, the owner. Ian Moore sailed with Edo Stead many times before, including on Quantum, I guess, at one stage. But Ian Moore is the navigator on the Alpha Plus. Steve Trebich is the runners. Luke van der Kamp is the floater and the project manager. Rod Dawson, main trimmer. Alex Goff is the other trimmer with Zach Hurst. Phil Clapp, the super big, powerful grinder, working with Craig Monk. Brian Say is in the pit, James Mitchell mid-bow, and Pedro Mas on the bow. So that's the Alpha Plus lineup. They are capable of certainly top 5 or something, ready to go racing or getting there. Ian Moore there, Craig Monk there on the pumps, ready to go. Very, very experienced America's Cup racer, one of the best known and most powerful grinders over the course of the recent sailing history, I reckon. And let's have a quick look at the season standings. American Magic have won 2 regattas back to back and have inched clear at the top of the table. They're on 93 points just now after 3 regattas, as Terry was saying. Probably 20, maybe 19 after today races to go this season. Well, let's see how that plays out this week, but they're 93 points. Sled on 122. Paprec lying in third just now, 129.5. They've got a bit of distance ahead of Alcedo Vitamina, the debuting Italian team this season. They're going well in fourth overall just now, 138 points. Platoon Aviation in fifth. I don't think they've ever finished off the podium in recent years. Won the title in 23, and I think they had five back-to-back podiums from what I remember over consecutive years. and they have got a little bit to push to get up to third place overall over 20 races, but that is very possible. They've always pushed hard and come in late in recent seasons. Value in 6th on 160 points, Alpha Plus 160.5, Allegre 163 on 8th, Pravezza in 9th on 175, Phoenix in 10th. Phoenix unfortunately not here this week. They'll be back with us in Costa Smeralda for the big final regatta of the season. Gladiator missed, as I said, Bayona, and are in 11th, just now 195. Teasing Machine and Criolla are both back with us. They both missed regattas. Criolla missed the last regatta, as did Teasing Machine. Criolla, as you see, they've only did Saint-Tropez this season so far, but they're back with a boat which is super optimised, the former Pravezza, and they raced at Copa del Rey a week ago or 10 days ago here on the same bay in a fleet of TP52s, and we're in the top 2, top 3 most days, and so they know the bay, and they could do anything. Well, that's the standings at the moment. American Magic Quantum Racing moving ever closer towards another title, but who knows, anything could happen, and it has done in the past. So still looking a little bit grey. So Katie, are we still on for a 35 warning signal? Do we think?
I've not heard any different. They've laid the start line is in place, the boats are in place, so I think hopefully they will go for it.
Good.
Yeah, the boat's in place, course is in place, so I don't see any reason why they wouldn't.
So then the next question, what would you do off the start line as you see it at the moment? I mean, yesterday was Gladiator won the first. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I think I'd still be pretty keen for that left-hand side. We're kind of close enough to that shoreline side. I think that still will be pretty powerful. So yeah, I think I would still go for the left. I'd probably try and get off and clear somewhere bottom third of the line, and then try and have a clear lane out towards that left, and then pick the point to come back across.
Indeed, just waiting for a warning signal. We see Maria Torrijos, principal race officer there, and the committee boat from the Real Club Náutico de Palma, which is helping out with race management this week. So indeed, we're inside the 5 minutes to the start of the first race of the Puerto Portals 52 Super Series sailing week. Just to remind us, the champions here last year were Gladiator, tied on points with Platoon Aviation, but I reckon this field has never been more open in terms of who might win the regatta. But for sure, Katie, a lot of pressure on this first start line, on this first race start here as the fleet returns to the Mediterranean.
Yeah, I think the first start of a regatta is always a bit of a jumpy one. Everyone's kind of, just nervous to get going, and so it's always, everyone's kind of pushing the line a bit, and everyone will probably get quite bunched together. I would anticipate down towards this pin end. It's quite often the general recalls we see in the racing happen on the first start. I know we saw that in Saint-Tropez, we had a couple of general recalls before we actually got into the racing, but hopefully there'll be a bit more discipline this time. But yeah, I think everyone will be raring to go at this point.
Indeed, watching Gladiator then seem to be setting up towards the committee boat end of the line. You would probably call them out as the team who really are most content to do their own thing, to back themselves, to pick a side. I think Gigi very often tells us, it's about picking a side and winning that side. And if you win that side, generally, you should do well. Pat Preck just in front of American Magic. Teasing Machine back from competing at the Admiral's Cup on their 54-footer. On board with American Magic. Regatta then also a team which have underperformed here, have won here before, underperformed this season. They have won here before back in 2017. I think it was a landmark year for them when they won their first 52 Super Series regatta here from memory. Anyway, we're a minute and a half to go. Katie, how do you see this lineup? What's your thoughts at the moment?
Yeah, quite an even spread across the line actually at the moment. You've got a bunch of boats at the bottom that look like they're vying for the pin. The wind is a little bit further left than we saw yesterday, so there's going to be a little bit more kind of heading in towards the land. But as you said, you've got Gladiator clearly going for the starboard end, going for that corner. They do like a kind of either starboard or port end start. They like those edges of that line. But yeah, I think you've got a bit of a battle at the bottom here with a few boats for this pin and a battle at the top, so kind of spread out. I think everyone must be thinking it's a bit more of an open race course if they're all kind of spreading out quite a lot. But it looks like there's potentially been a bit of a right hand shift on this line. Everyone's kind of heading, the angle to the line looks pretty up to me, so that'll change the well, some people will be pretty happy and some people won't be, but it looks like a solid start from most of them from where I am.
Indeed, we're just watching Allegra then, most left-hand boat, along with Vayu in the middle sled. Looking a bit like Regatta, a little bit slow on the line. American Magic. Well, American Magic really were super close to the line there, I would say. We got a little bit of a delay, but a good start from American Magic, Katie, from my view. Have just a little bit of a lane, but they've got themselves just jumping ahead of Pat Preck, who would be their biggest threat to leeward. Allegra got away nicely. Gladiator at the most right-hand boat. So yeah, Katie, your thoughts on that start? A good start from American Magic, for sure.
Really good start from American Magic. You could see their bow number kind of clear of the other boats, so they were clearly a little bit ahead, got a little bit of a jump, so yeah, really good start from them, and they're looking to be punching out a little bit from the rest of the fleet. We're sat below Allegra at the moment, and look like they've got quite good speed. They're able to kind of sail their own race down here, go a bit of a lower mode and really get the speed up, but yeah, American Magic absolutely nailed that one.
They did. Gladiator are rarely leaders, certainly in terms of the tracker, but not for long. American Magic with a strong position, only a third down from the committee boat in the end. They're certainly clear forward off Alcedo to windward, Apreck to leeward, and punching clear of them. On board Alcedo momentarily. Very much a boat speed race at the moment. Let's see how Platoon Aviation in good shape just now. We see them in second, just to windward, I think, of Alcedo. What they need to do is just focus on speed. Keep going fast, don't drop into Alcedo. Teasing Machine also tacking off early. Interesting then, just seeing the boat speeds at the moment. Teasing machine pretty quick. American Magic, Platoon Aviation, Allegra. Interesting the Gladiator didn't go so far, Katie. They just seem to have taken a bit of a hitch to weather.
Yeah, I think that was quite a good call by them. Just looking at the speeds of everyone on the tracking, actually their boat speed for the last little bit after that little hitch up has been quite high. So potentially they wanted to just get a bit clear and go for a bit of speed. But yeah, not looking quite so good now that they've tacked back. But I think in terms of getting clear wind and kind of making the most of boat speed, I think that was a fair enough strategy, to be honest with you.
Indeed, then most left-hand boat just now is Allegra and Vayu. Allegra the best of that left-hand just now. Prevetsa 4 boats up from the left. Alpha Plus going quite nicely. And Shiro Edostead is relishing the chance to be back in the fleet. Prove what he can do. One of the most accomplished tacticians in the fleet, but sailed with multiple different teams over the years as Allegra roll into their tack. So Allegra choose to tack while they could, Katie. And actually for me look quite nice.
Yeah, they look really nice to me. I think there's been a bit of a shift because the whole fleet is now on port pretty much, other than Criolla and Gladiator. And you would expect to maybe see them wanting to go out towards that left-hand side, but I think they must be sailing in a pretty big shift to be able to want to be tacking back.
So
but
early,
Allegra's looking super strong on the fleet now.
Gladiator not looking so good at the moment at all. But clearly the breeze is pretty shifty, isn't it?
Yeah, not your typical Palmer day, absolutely. Yeah, I was chatting to the Hugh Stiles on the rib before this, the coach of Vitamina, and we were discussing because he's coached me here back in my NACRA days, and he was saying what I thought about the wind and what I thought was going to happen, and he was highlighting how much of a strange direction this is for Palmer. So yeah, it's definitely not your typical Palmer day.
What is the wind direction? In actual fact, it looked.
I think it got to around 110, a lot further left than I think we were expecting. We were expecting around the 150s, but yeah, way further left than I was expecting and than we normally see.
Yeah, we do. Sometimes you see that with the breeze being pulled, or the thermal breeze pulling the breeze round to the right a little bit rather than it going all the way into the sea breeze direction. But American Magic have got a little bit of work to do, being kind of on the inside of that shift. But Allegra have read that well. Certainly Paul Goodison on top of that shift. Gladiator have got work to do, and way out in that right side. Interesting though, Teasing Machine went the big right, Katie, and they're middle for diddle, middle of the fleet.
Yeah, they've kind of gone for more of a split. They've heading out to the other side pretty early, and that could end up paying off for them if the wind or if the breeze goes back. They might be able to tack and cross, so they're risky strategy for me. I think they could either be kind of well up there or further back in the fleet, but yeah, I think they're kind of looking all right to me.
Then sometimes in this situation we get a little bit of a split breeze. And as I say, if we're getting the kind of forecast direction, as you said, kind of 150s being pulled to the left by the northerly breeze out in the north of the island, for example, and further away from the island, and it's entirely possible that the breeze to the right where teasing machine are is not as left-handed. There's certainly key thing for them, I think, is open water, unhindered breeze, and they can really let the boat do the work, as it were. Alpha Plus very much in the mix just now.
I think this ley line will be quite a tricky one to call for teasing machine if the breeze is kind of flicking around a little bit. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting call, whether they go kind of on ley, under ley, past ley, depending on what they're expecting the breeze to do. That could be a real kind of race winner or loser if they get that right.
Certainly they're in the mix in terms of our standings in this race so far. On board with American Magic, just Harry Mill just there. One of our barefoot experts. And there's a few through the fleet. As Terry's fond of saying, you don't have to knock it out of the park. It's really about, as he said, he's aiming to hold serve over the course of the week, not lose any points in terms of their circuit lead. Alpha Plus nicely positioned relative to a platoon. We've seen teasing machine have tacked now. Not looking quite as fresh as they were before. Coming back. I think this race is so important for platoon aviation. If they can post a good result from the first day with this new lineup, then that could be such a confidence booster, really cementing the team. And you'd reflect that it would be the platform for a change in fortunes. Orchido Vitamini in fifth just now, but it's really super close in the top 5, top 6, top 7 within 70 metres. How do you interpret the next part of this beat, the approach to the windward mark, Katie? What's your thoughts?
I think it's going to be a really tight one, especially if yesterday's practice racing is anything to go by. They were all literally overlapped at the windward mark, kind of a bunch of like 5 or 6 of them. So actually, I think it's going to be a really tricky one to navigate, and they're going to be they're all coming in on port to that ley line, so they're going to be wanting to kind of spot their gap early and try and figure out which boats they're going to be coming head to head with to make the tack, and figure out where they want to be tacking and positioning themselves on those boats around them to be able to make the next big gain, which will probably be at the mark grounding and on the offset. I think that's where the next game will be after the rounding, so they'll be thinking about their positioning and kind of where to tack on the boats around them.
It's stating the obvious, but really in this situation, race 1, you want to avoid penalties at this top mark.
when it's so
that's
super
the
close.
biggest
You
thing.
just
You
have
want to avoid letters. Yeah, avoid letters, avoid penalties, especially with the close racing. You really just can't afford to be doing spins in a close fleet like this, because you go from good position to bad position in literally, no time at all. So everyone, I think, needs to be just keep it calm, keep it cool, and just try and race clean.
Exactly, race clean. Be prepared to give away a metre rather than get into the really tough spots. But looking good just now for Allegri.
For sure. Risk versus reward.
So nice ley line call from Allegri coming in here with a little bit to spare. Francesco Mongelli, the navigator. Paul Goodison, the debuting as tactician on the Allegri. And then between Vayu and American Magic, Vayu a little bit slim on ley line. I've seen that before. American Magic will give nothing away. The top. American Magic round, I would say second, Vayu third, Sled in fourth. Allegri really have got a nice little jump there, which we could see multiply over the course of the race so far. And Platoon Aviation there, interesting. Just watching Jordi Calafat there, the strategist. He really is going to keep everything calm, giving big picture information. I think he's certainly been missed on this on that boat. Vasco at the back of the boat watching, following their overlap. It is, you said, a really close, tight windward mark. Allegri going well. Alpha plus an 8th, Pravet's on 9th. Viola, Gladiator, Teasing Machine. So Vayu really a little bit in stealth mode on that beat, but they were out with Allegri off the line. Going well side by side with American Magic. Gindel there, the ever dependable bowman on American Magic, just setting up, I think, maybe for a early jibe, just waiting to see what Vayu do. Paprec and I think Teasing Machine's the other one with the red kite. I've gone for the early jibes. How's this run looking then, Katie, in your eyes?
Yeah, I think Allegra's in a super strong position, obviously, because they went round in first. And I think in this kind of racing where it's a bit processional out towards this right-hand side downwind, I think that's a real advantage being out the front, because you can really choose your own mode downwind. And as soon as there's any sea state, you don't really want to be having your modes dictated to, because it just really throws off the kind of, you can't really get into a groove if you're having your position controlled. But Vayu's also had a really good kind of last minute of this downwind. They've really pulled forward a little bit of American Magic. I think they're will probably be
Well,
a little
so
bit
they
of a
have.
battle between Bayou, American Magic and Sled. They're all pretty close together, so I think this jibe point will be super critical for all of those guys. There's probably going to be some synchro jibing and kind of people jibing on each other and trying to get the jump here, but this kind of racing is all about kind of keeping like composed and calm and as fast as you can in the straight lines, and you're not going to be able to necessarily make those jumps in the straight line. It's sort of thinking all about the next attacking moves, so thinking about the jibe point where you can attack, thinking about the leeward marks, thinking about kind of attacking points rather than trying to do anything too crazy in the straight lines. So I think this is the point where we'll be seeing bits of action happening in the fleet.
Indeed, Dan. Watching American Magic going into their jibe. Interesting to watch Sarah Stone, the navigator, working at the front of the boat. I guess where she gets a really good view forwards. Now then, seeing a gain to Paprec, or certainly tracker showing a gain to Paprec out on that left side coming downwind. Has Loic Perron found something special?
I think Paprec is super strong downwind anyway in the sea state. I think being an offshore team and being such a kind of cohesive team in the way they work together and super familiar, I think downwinds are really their strength. They're used to the bigger waves and kind of making the waves work for them and the conditions work for them. So I think they've done a really sensible thing by trying to find themselves some space so that they can really play to their own strengths.
We'll see how that works out, but at the moment Allegri comfortable with over 200 metres of lead in terms of distance to the leeward gate. This is proving to be quite an interesting engaging race, well worth the wait. Interesting how things changed so quickly in the approach to that top mark, didn't they? 1 minute we had Alpha Plus up there in the top 3, top 4, and they're 8th, and the converse of that, suddenly Value were top 4, top 5, and they got a nice approach to the windward mark, coming round in second. The place is changing all the time coming down this run in the body of the fleet. Allegri looking pretty powerful down this run, in fact, the way they're sailing. Low and fast.
Yeah, you can really see the difference between what happens if you're leading the fleet and sailing your own race compared to what happens if you're battling it out a little bit further back. Allegri able to just sail that low mode, whereas you've got Value and American Magic who are kind of sailing a bit of a higher mode, trying to fight for positions to be able to go round the leeward mark in front. So yeah, I would expect Allegra to be able to just extend from here a little bit more.
That is the luxury, that is the benefit of leading in this fleet. We've seen it so many times before, and more recently we've seen it quite often in the first days. Allegri laying down a marker, as they've done before in regattas. But it would be nice to see the British team with a race win on the board from day one. British flag team, of course, but really an international team. I think probably one of the teams with the most different nations on board but the British majority enhanced by the arrival of Paul Goodison. So breeze is
One
now
of the things I actually love about
105.
the Allegra team is seeing, like, on the shore you see the flags of all the teams by where the boats are moored, and Allegra is the only team with numerous country flags under their name on their flag, which I think is really cool because it really shows how international the team is and how, I just kind of love that.
Indeed, and it's like a badge of honour to be so cosmopolitan and international. And I think that it's nice that they have that international outlook. At the moment, they're almost a world apart in terms of that lead. It's really grown nicely down that first run. Race 1 of the Puerto Portals 52 Super Series Sailing Week, and Allegra are in control for the moment. Looking very much like Vayu will come through. The breeze has gone to 105 degrees, I heard Maria, our race officer, saying. So yeah, Katie, Vayu have jumped clear of American Magic. You wouldn't necessarily expect to see that on any given day in the 52 Super Series. American Magic changing, I think, to go to the left-hand mark. Go on, Katie.
Vayu had a really good run down that, on that downwind. They managed to get clear of the group behind, whereas American Magic are a little bit stuck in that group, which meant they were, maybe it was a choice, but it potentially looks to me like they were forced out to that opposite mark, forced to do the split. Means they had to sail through the fleet. They're having to sail kind of underneath some of the downwind boats as well, which is going to slow them down. But yeah, the really good downwind by Vayu there managed to just get ahead of that fleet and be able to make the decision they want to make at that leeward mark.
Alpha Bliss round in 5th, Alcedo Vitamina in 6th, 7th Provezza, 8th the Platoon Aviation. There's so little in it round that through that leeward gate. Hatbrit just a little bit untidy in their drop and slowed. Easy Machine in 11th and Crayola in 12th. So interesting from that leeward gate, American Magic making that late change to the left-hand mark, seeming to make a gain relative to Vayu, and we're seeing Allegra tacking back early to get out and protect the left side, I guess. Magic getting out to the left side early, Katie.
Sorry, I just missed that one.
So just seeing American Magic getting out to the left early, changing to go around the left-hand mark, looking upwind and coming out to the left.
Yeah, I think that could have, as I was saying earlier, it could be two things. They could have either chosen to go to that mark to kind of have a bit of a clearer lane around the mark and hopefully get some speed up, and maybe if they saw something out on this side, they kind of wanted to force that split maybe. But equally, maybe it was they felt that they had the fleet inside them trying to go to that right-hand mark, and they didn't want to engage. Like what we were saying at the windward mark, maybe they kind of wanted to stay clean, race clean, and kind of maybe just get away from the potential carnage that could happen. But either way, yeah, they've come out to this side and they've got clear lane, clean breeze, tacked back across now, so we'll see if that one worked out for them.
Seems to have so far they're getting themselves up to second, really showing all the hallmarks of American Magic strategies. Avoid the intersections as much as possible.
Yeah.
Sail fast and sail clean.
Yeah, they know that they're quick, I think, and they know that they just need to sell their own race, and they're one of those teams that they're pretty reliable and pretty consistent, and I think everyone watching would be pretty surprised if they did something completely left field and went pretty wacky. I think they're more of a like to take a couple of places or try and take one place rather than potentially take 5 places or lose them all. So I think that's their style of racing, and I think they're relying on their speed and their chipping away strategy, and it's worked for them for the whole season. So honestly, carry on.
Indeed, that is Terry Hutchinson's most often used watchword, I think. Keep chipping away, keep making the small gains, and it's working for them just now. They seem to be through value, although it's probably closer than we think. Regatta's coming out to this left side. But in the end, quite a spread through the fleet. Criolla in 12th, or 570 metres behind the leader. It's a quarter of a leg in essence. So if you've just joined us, we're on the second upwind, race 1 here at the Puerto 52 Super Series, the sailing week. 10th time in a row that we have been in Puerto Portals. For all that, it's always, as Terry Hutchinson was saying earlier in our pre-race interviews, it's always the little subtle differences day to day, depending on the course position. And so far it's Paul Goodison and the afterguard on Allegra who have read it best. Started off the pin. And have there you are, bow number 19, Andy Soriano and team. Value to leeward and forward. They look to be going quite nicely in the end, Value actually, Katie.
Yeah, Value are having a really good race. I think they're racing really well, strategically and speed-wise. They've definitely got the speed to be out there, and kind of as you were saying on the first one, they were kind of almost in a bit of a stealth mode going up that first beat. We didn't really mention them because they were kind of looked to be in the mix or in the pack, but I think they did something similar to Allegre, and then on that downwind, really kind of managing to stay in front of American Magic, who we know are fast downwind and around the course, managing to stay in front of them and kind of tactically kind of manoeuvre themselves into good positions so that they were staying in front. I think they're having a really good race.
Indeed, Value with Nick Rogers, of course, Olympic gold medalist, and he also has Manu Weiler, who's sailing with him, and Manu comes from Mallorca, as does their new navigator this week, who's joined the team of female navigator, who's sailed before with or worked with Ineos and some of the America's Cup teams in the data analysis and that side of the business, but also a great navigator in her own right. But she's also from the island, so presumably brings some local knowledge as well. And that afterguard is gelling nicely just now. I'd say they're third underwater. Elvira Labres, who's the Spanish navigator from Mallorca, sailing her first regatta on the 52 Super Series on the TP52. But it's going well for the Value team just now. It's going to be all on down this final run. And if anything, actually, Allegra just lost a little bit to American Magic, or given up a little bit to American Magic. He got out to that left side. Allegra came back, keeping just a little bit of a loose cover. Let's have a very quick look at the value lineup, just confirming the full team. John Whitcraft is the young helmsman from the Whitcraft family. Dylan Whitcraft is on the backstay. Manu Weiler, as I said, is tactician along with Nick Rogers. Manu from Mallorca, from Sarapita, I believe, lives just along the coast, and he's been with the team when they won last year in Newport. Of course, Nick Rogers, Elvira Labras is the navigator this week. Dylan Whitcraft, Palm Green, project manager and main trimmer. Kevin Whitcraft, owner and one of the other trimmers. Gabriela Olivio. Lele Marino is the grinder along with Max Godfroy. Jules Mitchell, the grinder. Tom Whitcraft is the owner and runs the pit. Andersorn Nigmarit is the mid-bow. Mika Eid is the bowman. And that's the lineup on the value, our Thai team, and very much a family affair, and always pursuing the Regatta board last year in Newport, Rhode Island, going well just now, in third, ahead of their one of their rivals from home, Alpha Plus from Hong Kong, Value from Thailand, third and fourth just now. Revetts have made a little bit of a gain since the leeward mark, getting out to that left side. But once again, it's going to be about the approach to this windward mark. Allegra are clear, but after that, it's going to be super close and exciting, Katie, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It looks like a couple of the boats have actually underlaid this windward mark, so it looks like Value and American Magic are slightly under this ley line on starboard, so they're going to have to do a little tack back up. When they do that is going to be really, I think, crucial. When they do, they're probably hoping for a little bit of a shift or something that can help them come back up. But yeah, looking like American Magic especially might have to do a little bit of a hitch up. But Allegra, yeah, really solid upwind by them. They really nice tactical manoeuvres on American Magic, kind of keeping them close by, making sure they didn't get too much of a gauge and too much distance from them. But they look like Allegra looks like they're laying, but yeah, Quantum and Value definitely going to have to do a bit of a hitch up, which opens the door potentially for the group behind to catch up to them a little bit, because I think the manoeuvres in this stuff, if there's a bit of sea state, not the fastest things in the world.
Indeed. So really about using momentum and picking the right spot, but master of that so far have been Allegra and the Soriano's team, leading at the top mark. They've led at every mark so far in this race one of the Puerto Portals 52 Super Series sailing week, and a really strong ley line from the afterguard. Twelve boats racing, 9 different nations, and there you see the international flags there as they go round on Allegra leaders. Francesco Mongelli, the navigator, on the rail just now as they come round, just giving some information to Paul Goodison and Will Ryan. There you see Value doing a good job just keeping ahead of American Magic, and in the end we're going to end up with American Magic losing a boat, as Katie said, a little bit on under ley line and now starved of breeze very slightly. This could be a little bit costly for American Magic at the moment.
Really nice play by Vayu on that, with managing the underlaid situation that they had. They had American Magic below them, so American Magic couldn't quite tack back onto port with the protector mark, so they kind of held American Magic out further than they probably would have wanted to go, which meant that Vayu managed to get clear ahead of them, in front of them, so that they were ahead at the top as well, which meant that then Alpha Plus closed a lot of gap on those guys, and it meant that American Magic just had to tack underneath them because they had nowhere else to go, which lost them, I think, by the looks of it, 2 places. They're just going around that windward mark now, the spreader mark now, and they've definitely lost a place to Alpha Plus, and maybe one more as well. So really tricky last little bit of that upwind for American Magic.
Indeed, they end up being in a bit of a scrap with Provezza just to the right. Provezza fully powered up. So, as Katie was just saying, a great good move from Vayu, Alpha Plus. American Magic losing a couple of places there at that top mark. And also Gladiator have pulled back a few places, Katie, haven't they? Getting themselves up to 7th place, I think. They were 11th at the top mark, first time up.
Yeah, they sailed a really nice first downwind. They got quite a few places back. I think they managed to jump to just in front of Paprec, so had maybe 3 boats behind them at the bottom. And then, I think they look to be chipping away, and they've got the boat speed we've seen in previous regattas. They're one of the fastest boats on the water at points, and I think using that, taking confidence from that and chipping away, they've managed to get some places back.
They're looking good for Andy Soriano's team on the Vayu, looking good for a debut win for Paul Goodison.
Yeah, you'd take that first race out, or first race on the boat with a convincing race win. I think you'd be pretty happy with that.
You would, but you could have set the bar a little bit high, don't you?
Yeah, that's true. Now there's going to be quite the expectation.
But all credit to Goody, and but there's so much talent on that boat anyway. Will Ryan, a fantastic strategist, and
yeah, for sure.
Anyway, hopefully the sign of things to come. And in the end, a pretty strong debut from Edo Stead. You wouldn't expect anything less of him on Alpha Plus in 3rd just now. I think probably he is the tactician, if not the sailor, who sailed with the most teams on the TP52s over the duration of 52 Super Series and Med Cup before. But he really is top drawer. Knows his way around this fleet. How's the breeze looking just now? It seems to be puffing up and down a little bit just now, Katie.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit up and down generally. It feels a little bit softer potentially now. The sun's come out as well, which is making it a bit hotter. But yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of breeze. They're still out hiking on the rail, but you can see them, kind of using, rather than everyone flat out hiking, they're using their body weight a bit more on the waves, a bit more kinetics on board. So I think it's dropped off a little bit, but still plenty to be getting on with.
Indeed, and it's raining at home, so there are worse places to be in the world and worse things to be doing. And of course, let's not overlook the contribution of Sylvia Maas there at the front of the lineup there on Allegra. 470 world champion in her own right, and a real bundle of energy on that boat. Will Ryan there, strategist, last off the rail. Rolling into their jibe. Will this be their ley line on lay into the finish, Katie?
I think they might have one more to do potentially, but I think the wind is shifting a little bit, so I think that's a good call for them not going all the way to the ley line. It just gives them some options. They don't get pinned out. They've got room to play with behind them, but I think even if you are out with a bit of a lead, you wouldn't get complacent. You'd be kind of still wanting to race as if you were super tight racing with everyone else. So I think that's a good call from them, just to give themselves options and not go all the way to the ley line and risk having to either go really hot angle to the mark or have to have an issue. So good decision from them.
Also liking the work that the Privets have been doing in this race. I would expect nothing less of them, but 9th at the top mark. They've got 9.75 at successive marks, and 4th just now coming down this final run, battling with American Magic. And I guess that Ergen Embre's team would take a 4th. Sled 4th at the top mark, first time up, dropping to 6th. And Platoon Aviation 9th at the top mark, first time up, presently 8th. The sky's opening out a little bit. Katie, you seeing a little bit more sunshine perhaps? Certainly looks like that in her live pictures.
The sun has definitely come out, and I am not wearing enough sun, so I will be reapplying after this race. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice that the grey has gone away and the showers have hopefully passed, which means that the breeze will stabilise. But this is what was in the forecast, and it was as soon as the cloud kind of burns off, sun comes out, breeze stabilises a bit. So hopefully this is it now. Hopefully the wind is in,
for the
slightly
week.
less shifting around, or maybe not actually, because it causes action if there's shifting around, which we love. But yeah, sunshine for the week would be pleasant. I need to get my tan while I can before I go home.
Otherwise people don't know where you've been and what you've been doing. But lovely images then now. Andy Soriano's team had a pretty tough regatta in Cascais. Not able to really impose themselves the way they wanted there. And I think that was a venue where they have high expectations, but what a nice way to bounce back as the circuit returns to the Mediterranean with a race win. With this new lineup, so maximum credit to the Allegra team. Made some technical changes as well, I think, to the boat in the interim period between Cascais and here. not been party to knowing exactly what that is, but certainly Sebastian Ten Hag and the shore team have been very busy since Portugal, and all that's paid off. Andy Soriano going around thanking his team. And we'll set that as a task for you, Katie. You can find out what Allegra have been doing and get into spy mode. Anyway, Allegra through in first, through in second now are Vayu. Really good, composed, confident race. But as I said before, really, you wouldn't expect any less of them, considering the talent they have on board, although maximum credit to Elvira Labres, who's their new navigator, doing a great job, clearly getting second. What a way to start. And so too Alpha Plus on the podium, marking the return of Edo Stead to the fleet. And equally so, fourth for Provezza. Starting in the top third of the fleet, having been ninth at the top mark first time up. Fifth for American Magic, being pursued by Alcedo. Sled getting seventh. They were fourth Windward Mark first time up. So Katie, overall really exciting, engaging race. Places changing all the time. All of the, interestingly enough then, all of the top three boats have got changes to their lineups on board of one kind or the other. Allegra, new tactician. Vayu, new navigator. Alpha Plus, new tactician. So a change is as good as a rest, I think, or whatever it is they say. Riolo getting in there, and the two Gladiators. Oh, sorry, it's a Platoon Aviation and Gladiator crossing side by side. Criolla coming back quite nicely. They were 10th at the top mark first time up. Coming with 8th. 9th for Platoon Aviation, 10th for Gladiator. Hazing Machine get 11th. And unfortunately that means the 12th, I think, for Paprec. Two French boats, 11th and 12th. That'll be disappointing for Paprec for sure. Particularly looking at their standings for the season. They really need to keep going in the top third of the fleet to maintain that. But Katie, the Allegra win was really built from the start line, getting out to the left early, as we often see in Palma.
Yeah, convincing is the word I would use to describe that win. Yeah, I think they had a strategy which was clearly to go off the pin with good speed, and they tacked back at the right time. I think they got that shift up that first beat, which they tacked on at the perfect time, and then they just extended their lead by kind of sailing their own race and making sure it's kind of what you kind of always say is you let everyone else make mistakes around you, and you let everyone battle around you and you just focus on your own boat and your own race where you can, and I think they really capitalised on that, which meant that they just kept extending for the whole race. So yeah, incredibly sailed race, and I think they can take so much confidence from that as a new team, with so many new faces on board, that actually this could be a good regatta for them.
Here's hoping. American Magic, I think, will be ruining losing 2 or 3 points, considering they were up. I would have them second at the top mark alongside Vayu, and indeed through the leeward gate they were second, certainly in the first part of that second upwind, and then dropping at the top mark with that little head-to-head with Vayu coming off slightly better, and then also losing Alpha Plus and Provezza. Unfortunately, the trend was downwards for the circuit leaders. So there's the positions from race 1. Allegra win, Vayu second, Alpha Plus third, Provezza fourth, American Magic Quantum Racing in 5th, Alcedo Vitamina in 6th, the Sled in 7th, Criolla in 8th, Gladiator in 9th, Platoon Aviation 10th, Teasing Machine in 11th, and Paprec in 12th. We think we should go into a second race fairly quickly, but we're going to take a short break and will join us again in a few minutes.
The world's leading monohull racing circuit is back in Puerto Portals in Mallorca. Teams are all set to do battle on the Bay of Palma.
The whole crew there in the back of the boat. I absolutely love it.
Who would have thought a big win for the Finns? Great racing, sled catching, American Magic.
They are neck and neck.
Everything is possible until you cross the finish line.
Fantastic racing.
What a thrilling race. Oh my God.
See it, it's easy for me to show, but sometimes I'm really brave, and that just means that I'll try again tomorrow. It's my dark created mountains where the mountains where the valleys used to be. Gotta change perspective if I really want to see that sunrise over the water. I swam over and under, get lost in all the wonder, never call it quits, no. When life hit me apart, I went faster and farther. I just gotta remember I was made for this. Among the waves, let them take me as far as they want to go. And it's time for me to say, they won't break me, I'm braver than I know. It's my dark created mountains where the valleys used to be. Gotta change perspective if I really want to see it. Sunrise over the water, I swam over and under. Get lost in all the wonder, never call it quits, no. When life hit me harder, I went faster and farther. I just gotta remember I was made for this. Oh, such a time as this. I was made for this. It's my doubt creating mountains where the valleys used to be. And all the things I thought I knew were changing like the seas. Yeah. But I swam over and under. Get lost in all the wonder, never call it quits, no. When life hit me apart, I went faster and farther. I just gotta remember I was made for this. Oh, such a time as this.
Single your confusion, great brave woman, laughing to illusion. You're not afraid to die, you know dying is alone. Down or up, you're still alone. Laughing or crying, you roll alone. How do you do it? You know I come from pain. You say I can't complain. It's on me. The past is long gone, and the future's unknown. You are telling me it's on me. You are telling me it's on me. He said to be polite. The only way to get what you want, the only way they like you, is to stay in line and follow the crowd. But you stand out black as the night. You know they're all lying. You know I come from pain. You say I can't complain. It's on me. future. Even though you're dying, you fell before and you keep on trying. You do it all again, now blinded by beauty. You tell the story as it is, speaking not to be understood. Bad is better good. You know I come from pain. Say I can't complain. It's on me. The best is ungone, and the future's unknown. You are telling me it's on me. You are telling me it's on me. You are
The world's leading monohull racing circuit is back in Puerto in Mallorca. Teams are all set to do battle on the Bay of Palma.
Oh, it's a penalty.
The boats are fully powered up. The whole crew, they're in the back of the boat. I absolutely love it.
Who would have thought a big win for the Finn? Great racing, sled catching, American Magic.
They are neck and neck.
Everything is possible until you cross the finish line.
Fantastic racing.
What a thrilling race. Oh my God.
Well, there we go. Fantastic first race, won by Andy Soriano's team on Allegre. Vayu second, Alpha Plus third, Provezza fourth, and American Magic, the circuit leaders, finishing in fifth place. It looks a little bit lighter and a bit more sunshine as we roll into the second race of the day. Is it going to be worth the wait, Katie? Do we think? Conditions still look to be pretty decent. Breeze is a little bit lighter than race one.
Yeah, for sure. Always worth the wait with these races. But yeah, a little bit lighter, around 12 and a half knots at the moment, and breeze is a little bit more left, around kind of 0.75. So yeah, pretty far left actually, but the sun's out and everyone will be happy to hear that I have more sun cream on, which is fabulous news. But yeah, wind's dropped a bit and quite a bit of sea state. So yeah, well, I think it's going to be some good racing again. Really close racing in this stuff.
Indeed, but you reflect that the breeze started the day at 135, I think, 105 at points in the previous race, and it's now at 075. So moving into very much into the northerly quadrant as we expect, with this Mistral blowing out in the north of the Med. But it's going to be an interesting race. Teams have to come back after the disappointment of the previous race. I think notably the likes of Platoon in particular, and teams like Paprec, who are, as we noted, third on the circuit standings, really can't afford to do too many more races like the one they've just done. Need to get back into the level of consistency they showed in Cascais. And for sure American Magic want to be gaining places around the course, not losing them. But in this slightly more left-hand breeze, then left will be even more favoured, Katie, perhaps.
Yeah, you'd think so, although saying that, they've just put the AP up. I think the wind's actually swung right a bit again now, so bit of an unstable breeze out here. I think, yeah, potentially maybe similar to what we saw in the last race, when they eventually get this race underway with the tacking on the shifts rather than the heading all the way out to the left-hand side. I think the teams have got to be super adaptable in this stuff and just kind of race on what they see, and that's where, yeah, the tacticians are going to have a bit on today with being adaptable and kind of trying to nail what's going on, because it's a pretty tricky day out here.
Indeed, it's a heads out the boat kind of day, as Andrea Vicentini said in our pre-race interviews. Very dynamic situation generally around the Balearics and this area of the Med for the moment, with this northerly breeze in the north of the Med and the thermal breeze as usual in some size, shape or form influencing or battling with the northerly breeze. But what are our other takeaways from that first race then, Katie, other than the outstanding performance? The outstanding performance of the top three teams. But it was interesting to note that, as I said, the top three teams all had some form of changes since Cascais. Paul Goodison joining the Allegra team. Elvira Yabres, who is the navigator on the Vayu, coming in for her first regatta in the TP52s and the 52 Super Series. And Alpha Plus then with Ado Stead joining the programme this regatta in third, otherwise Provezza in fourth. But say otherwise Provezza, American Magic and all the rest, really no changes in their lineups. So they're going to have to be a bit patient just now, Katie. We can see Maria, our principal race officer, just staying relaxed and just waiting for the breeze to settle again. It's always difficult at this time of the day here in Palma and indeed in the Med. The breeze doesn't tend to become any more settled, does it?
No, as it starts getting later on in the day and then it starts cooling down a bit, I think, yeah, it tends to start kind of getting a bit more unstable and dropping off a bit towards the end of the day. But having said that, it's not been kind of a typical day, and it hasn't been as hot here in terms of like the sun hasn't been as intense today because it's been kind of high level cloud. So we could still definitely get some racing in yet if it stabilises a bit. But yeah, we shall see.
We shall indeed. Meantime, tell us about your own Olympic programme. You've spent most of the time in Costa Weymouth.
Yes, Costa del Solent, or it's not even the Solent, is it? But Weybetha.
Weybetha,
yeah, I've
love
just
it.
been plodding around in the Weybetha. Yeah, no, it's been really good. It's the first time in a very long time that I've actually spent a whole summer in Weymouth, and I am now wondering why I didn't do that more, because it's just so glam. You get different conditions every day, and actually, which is perfect for learning the ropes in the 49er. I've only been sailing it for kind of like 6-8 months, so still very much learning what to do, manoeuvres, figuring out how to make the boat go fast, and the conditions that we've had in Weymouth have been really good for it. But I'm absolutely loving it. And actually I'm seeing quite a lot of, coming from kite surfing before that, obviously sailing way back when, but having kited for 6 years, there's a lot of sailing specific stuff that you kind of forget, and every time I come to the Super Series events now, after having done more and more sailing, I kind of see more similarities between the boats in general, and it's just really cool to be relearning all of the boats basically, and relearning boats. But yeah, loving it.
In terms of your programme, is there any takeaways coming into this environment, into this world's leading Grand Prix circuit, in terms of your Olympic programme, seeing how the top pros operate, for example?
Yeah, absolutely. And having followed the Gladiator programme around now for a while, and seeing how all of these other teams operate as well, actually one of the biggest words to take away from the Gladiator programme is process, and that's something that is really valuable, and actually is something that I take away to my own sailing, because if you can control the process and stick to the way that you do things, so that kind of you minimises all of the noise, so things are like little things, like in the 49er, for example, it's like who fills up the water bottles in the morning, or who puts the settings on the boat, who puts the wheels on the trolley, like little things like that, which they seem kind of irrelevant, but actually when you get to a race day, if you know who's doing what and you stick to that process, it means you have so much more brain space available for the important things like wind and racing and stuff like that. So that's one big takeaway, is just the professionalism in the process.
And interesting, we were kind of chuckling a little bit at Terry Hutchinson just saying it's about the 1%, where you're finding a 1% every day. You take that into your Olympic aspirations, and that is a key learning from here, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and like that philosophy of kind of all of those little bits all do add up, and kind of chipping away and really, yeah, taking 1% every day and trying to make those little gains. Like over time, they all add up to be big gains, and actually if you can get that 1% on the boat next to you, then yeah, you're 1% better, and then the next day you're 2% better. And yeah, that's a philosophy that I really actually identify with, and I think is super important.
And do you sail with a squad then in Weymouth every day, or are you out on your own, or what's the setup?
I'm currently training in a squad. We've got like 5 or 6 of us, and we're just out every week we're out, kind of most days of the week, to be honest with you. But it's a really good squad. We're kind of trying to emulate what the kite squad had a little bit, because that was a super powerful squad, and it ended in a gold medal. And that environment, that training environment, and always like pushing each other is something that we're really trying to use that experience and take that into our FX campaign, because I'm sailing with Maddie Anderson, who is one of my best friends, and she was also a kite foiler. I was in a squad with her for the last 6 years, so we're really trying to capitalise on that environment that we created and taking that into the FX squad, and really trying to make a solid training group that's going to ultimately lead to another gold medal at the next games.
Well, here's hoping. I mean, the FX is a class in Britain that we've yet to medal in, I think. But in the meantime, unfortunately, then AP over A for the moment. That means that racing is finished for the day. We've just had that one race here on day one of the Puerto Portals, the 52 Super Series sailing week, and it was a good race. A win for Allegre, Value second, and Alpha Plus third. So do join us again tomorrow when we go live all the way through the standings. After race one, Allegre first, Value second, Alpha Plus third, Pravetza fourth, American Magic fifth, Alcedo Vitamina sixth, Sled are in 7th, Criolla 8th, Gladiator 9th, Platoon Aviation starting the week with the 10th, Teasing Machine 11th, and Pat Prek in 12th. So that's the positions for today's race. As I say, join us again tomorrow when we should go through a solid day of racing. Hopefully forecast improves through the week, and we're hoping for a really solid week's racing here in Puerto Portals. We'll see you tomorrow.
The world's leading monohull racing circuit is back in Puerto Portals in Mallorca. Teams are all set to do battle on the Bay of Palma.
Oh, it's a penalty!
The boats are fully powered up. The whole crew, they're in the back of the boat. I absolutely love it.
Who would have thought a big win for the Finns?
Oh, so close!
Great racing, sled catching, American Magic.
They are neck and neck.
Everything is possible until you cross that finish line.
Fantastic racing.
What a thrilling race. Oh my God.